Hey guys, Brian Hilliard here, author of the best-selling book Networking Like a Pro and creator of the popular program How to Expand Your Reach, Impact More Lives, and Get Your Message Out to a Wider Audience. Now, as you can see, I am actually out hiking. It was a really beautiful day and I just felt like I wanted to be able to get out, get a little sun, get going. I'm out here by myself here today, but I wanted to talk about something real quick, which is this idea of getting to yes and getting comfortable with the enrollment conversation, because a lot of people, I'm sure you have been in a situation, I know I certainly have myself, you're going out, you are talking to people, right? You're talking to a prospective client and things look great. They sound great, you're talking, you guys are making a connection, everything is just going super duper okie dokie. And then you start talking about the money and it's like you can actually feel the conversation slow down, right? And all of a sudden you're trying to remember what it is you want to say and it's not quite as fluid anymore and things start feeling awkward and you start feeling uncomfortable and then you can tell that they're feeling uncomfortable too, and it just turns into this huge issue, and it doesn't have to be that way. You know, as a coach since 2001, I try to tell people that it does not have to be that way at all when you're having an enrollment conversation with a prospective new client. As a matter of fact, imagine a reality where you are able to talk to people on a consistent basis and they are 100% comfortable with who you are, what you're all about, how much you charge. They are comfortable with signing up and enrolling in your program. They do not have a problem paying for what you're worth, and being able to just move forward and be either a coaching client or a consulting client or something like that. And that's exactly what I want to be able to talk with you here today about, which is this idea of getting to yes and being able to do so in a way that is effortless and allows you to feel comfortable while you're doing it. Now, the thing that I always tell people is really easy when you're talking about getting to yes. You have to make sure that they acknowledge that they have a problem. All right, now let me just say this again. You have to make sure that the people that you're talking to actually acknowledge that they have a problem. You're like, Brian, what do you mean by that? Like, don't they have a problem just by definition? Yes, when you're talking to people, they will talk about what issues they're facing and some of the different things that they're going on, but certain people will get a little funny, okay? And they will try to characterize it as, and it's just them trying to protect their ego, and that's fine. It's a whole nother story, but it's fine. It's them trying to protect their ego, and what they will do is they'll act like it's just kind of, you know, two friends having this kind of fireside chat, or good advice, or, oh, that's, you know, good. I had somebody say that, oh, good advice. I'm like, no, you know, I didn't say this. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, that wasn't good advice. That was me knowing something about an area that you needed help in, and that was fine. And you decided not to work with me, and that's fine. But it was not good advice. It was something where I was helping you as an expert in that area that you needed help in. Okay, so what you want to be able to do in terms of getting to yes and getting comfortable with the enrollment conversation, right off the bat, they need to acknowledge that they have a challenge. Brian, how do you do that? Good question. What I always say is, all right, well, listen, what is it that brought you here, you know, to sit down with me today? Deb likes to say, what is it that piqued your interest in sitting down with me today? Or, you know, another way of saying it, got this from Taylor Welch over at the Sales Mentor. He says, what is it that motivated you to join me here today? I actually say that for my challenge. When I do my 3-day challenge, my Facebook challenge, I will actually put in the question. The first question is, you know, on Facebook, you can ask different questions. The first question I will say to people is, thanks so much for joining. What motivated you to jump on? And it is so funny trying to watch people squirm and move around and act like they're trying to get help when they don't need it, but they need it, but they don't want to act like it, and blah, 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 blah. If you want a surefire way to get to yes and to be able to have, you know, a level of comfort during the enrollment conversation, you have to get people to acknowledge that they have a problem so that during the conversation, you're fixing the problem that they've already acknowledged. What happens for a lot of people is we begin fixing a problem that they've kind of quasi put out there, and then when it comes to the money part, they're like, well, you know, it really wasn't so much of a problem, or I didn't really need it, or thanks for the good advice. Okay, but when you get that straight up on the record, as it were, that makes all the difference in the world. And as a matter of fact, feel free to like, share, or comment below. You know that I personally handle all comments, so if you have something that you want to say, maybe you want to push back a little bit, not a problem. Or if you just agree, I'd love to hear your thoughts. But in the meantime, my name is Brian Hilliard, saying so long, take care, and thanks so much for your time.